Charlie Parsons, Boxing Social in association with William Hill and Empire Fight Store. Always a pleasure. Mr. Kalle Sauerland, spoke to your brother Nissa.
This red light coming up here makes me look like the devil, doesn't it? Yeah.
But do you feel like you've got to play the devil a little bit here?
I am an angel, as we all know. Oh, Kalle the Angel. It's no more longer Don Kalle, it's Kalle the Angel.
Don Kalle the Angel?
Yeah, well, that's sort of, yeah. Don Carlos the Angel.
Don Carlos the Angel. We've just had the press conference here for Smith versus Eubank 2. Your first thoughts on the back and forth between the pair?
Yeah. They've both got different takes on it, of course. I mean, what I said, I meant up there, is what Junior was totally, like, I've been with, obviously, just a few fighters over the last 23 years in dressing rooms after big fights, win and lose, winners, losers, and he was clear as rain in that dressing room afterwards. It's the rematch, and we go out, whereas with the business arm of it, the promoter, but ultimately he's taking this on himself as a sort of, and I meant it. We're good. We're good. We're still rolling.
We're rolling.
We're rolling. All right. Yeah. No. He's his own man. He's very different to a lot. Well, every fight is different, but he he listens to people around him. But I think at the end of the day, when his mind's made up, his mind's made up. And that Valentine's Day message, I wasn't joking. I was in a plane, and I did see it in a plane. I couldn't even reply to anything. Or
are you not on a plane?
Yeah, that's true. Quite often.
We've sort of seen up there, I know sort of the use of the comment about the elbow and etc. has been made. Chris continues to plead that sort of he doesn't really feel like the fight should have been stopped. Obviously the public perception is that it was only going one way. For him now, what's the mentality? Is it going in and proving everyone wrong? He's not really been one that's ever really interacted with sort of public opinion and hearsay too much, but it does get to you.
I mean, first of all, I'd say, look, he'll know what he was feeling in that ring more than anyone. In fact, more than anyone, he'd be the only one who knows what he was feeling up in that ring. All I can see from the outside is what could have been changed is that he should have taken the time. If you watch it, it's like an elastic band. He springs straight back up and wants to continue without even a break or a count. And had he, taken the time and settled himself down in the corner, breathe deep, focus on a spot, I think that you can we don't know. That's all I can really say on it. He'll know what he felt up there. I can't really say more than that.
What happens if Chris loses here, Kalle? Is that the end of his career? I asked the same question to Nissa. He said that Conor Benn fight will always be there.
No, I don't know. I don't. I mean, if you lose twice to one man, it's not like you've been wiped out by the entire division. Yeah? If someone's got your number, it's not your style. There's lots of different things, but I'm not thinking about that now. He's talk victory. We take care of business June 17, and then we roll on. And there's plenty of options.
Like you say, it was around Valentine's Day when the rumours were circulating that the rematch clause had been a vote. I know that they said up on the stage, well, why has it taken so long?
It wasn't exactly rumours. It was bang with a rose.
There was originally rumours that were leaked, and then obviously he came out and obviously proved that himself.
What I find funny is people, Ben as well. That's why I didn't have a go at Ben, but I cut him a bit short. How's long? How's this long? We've gone from January 20-something to June 17. That's a pretty fast turnaround at world level boxing, no?
Especially coming off a knockout loss.
Yeah, so I don't know, what do you want to do quicker? We should do it a week later? I disagree with that. And yes, there's been lots of talk about other fights, especially the Conor Benn fight. And I maintain exactly what I've said the whole way along. Yes, there was a flirt, and it didn't go further than that. Is it one that will eventually get made? I'm sure it will.
Why was the decision to go into this fight and not another fight straight away?
The decision, like I said, whatever my opinions are, whatever Roy's opinions are, Junior is his own man, and he's done it time and time again in his career. And look, he feels he got beaten by a man who he's better than, and he wants to go and avenge that. So it's quite simple. But as a rematch, I find it far more intriguing. Like I said, had Liam Smith won on points, would that have been the biggest surprise? No, it wasn't. It was quite level betting actually at the time. So, but the fact that he did it in that way, and the fact it was the first time Junior had been on a canvas, that makes this rematch super interesting. How does he react to it? You know, how does he react to that? And you know,
do you believe that his punch resistance gone?
Punch resistance gone. I don't know. It sounds like something out of, I don't know, what is it? Street Fighter. What is it?
You do give me some good one-liners.
No, well, I mean, punch resistance gone. What is it like? Watch playing a computer game and his stamina's gone down. No, I don't believe that you just lose punch resistance. You know, he's been in there with some of the biggest punchers, much bigger punchers than Liam Smith. If you think about George Groves, Arthur Abraham, these are serious punchers.
But my point is, he took a lot of punches back then at 168. He comes down to 157, does that cut, the fight doesn't happen, then goes down 160. We've heard it before. Fighters, they transition and don't keep their...
Agreed, but first of all, he weighed in voluntarily a pound under last time. So it's not like it wasn't made at 159. It was made at 160. It's a middleweight fight, and he's come in a pound under. So no, I'm not. It was punt, and again, I've heard a lot, but to wake up and suddenly have the punch resistance gone like that, I've never seen in 23 years before. He hit him well. He hit him with a lot. A few fists and a few other things. You know? We can laugh and joke about it all we like. You go look at the tape and you see it. And by the way, again, in a combination like that, when you're trying to finish your opponent, you throw punches, they might miss and you might clip them with an elbow. I'm not saying it was like a malicious elbow. I'm just saying there were elbows. And don't believe me, go look at it and tell me there wasn't one or two elbows that landed in that barrage of punches. You know, absolutely. I don't think anyone would deny that, but I don't think it was malicious. I just think it happened, and had it been the other way around, I probably wouldn't be mentioning it.
How far did you get into talks with the Conor Benn fight?
You know, Charlie, you know what a flirt is, yeah? And you know what going all the way is. Right? There's a little education lesson here. So I wouldn't say this was first base. I'd say it was like, you know, we saw each other across the room, bit of a wink, bit of a smile, bit of a dirty look maybe. But no.
You didn't get any further after that?
Didn't go further than that. She left with another fella.
Okay. Well, we still don't know who that fella is.
Another fella.
We still don't know who that fella is.
Or maybe I had one too many and I thought she came in that dirty wink. You know, no. I think, you know, it was talked about. I think they've got a lot going on. And, you know, like I said, I think that fight gets made, you know. And, by the way, we can talk about win, lose, let Conor Benn win, lose, you know. Yeah, I mean, you know, is the nation not going to watch the fight? Come on, be serious.
Kalle, on Conor Benn, we've seen UKAD suspension come out last week. I spoke to Nissa, he said, I hope that he's cleared. What?
UKAD suspension came out last week. It's now doing number 10 in the charts. UKAD suspension came out last week. Okay, was that alongside the new John Grisham book and the latest Boyzone CD, or what is that? UKAD suspension came out last week.
Conor Benn's UKAD suspension.
Conor Benn. Oh, right. Okay, Charlie. Sorry. I don't know what you're talking about. UKAD suspension came out. I don't really care. It's not my business. It's their business. I don't know what relevance it has. If he's already not allowed to fight in the UK, got no idea. Hopefully, it leads to some clarity. I've said all along, we're still waiting for answers. Why the board knew for 5 weeks, and Chris kept on training. We kept on promoting. No one told us. I like answers on that rather than hearing that UKAD suspension has hit the charts. I think that's great, but where's our communication with us? I think that's the biggest thing I've got with the board. It's not like an attack on the board. It's just like, why has no one said, come on, come see us in Cardiff, and let's sit down and we'll explain what happened. That's the part that I don't understand. And by the way, that's not just in light of us. I mean that more in terms of Chris as the fighter. You know what I mean?
In terms of legal proceedings, were there any from yourself directly with the British board? Obviously, we know that Conor had his reasons, and obviously, like you say, there's a lot of money that goes into a build-up of a fight like that. They could have pulled the plug earlier, is the argument that yourself and Matchroom have been making. Where are you at with the board?
To cut you short on that, I can't say too much, and it's an ongoing situation. So,
is there a legal case?
Well, it's an ongoing situation, so we're going to look at it and see what comes of it. But clearly, there's been damage, hasn't there, to us, and it's then down to people far above my pay grade to ascertain what that damage means. But we're watching, and again, our telephone numbers are well known in that circle, so maybe a call and maybe a sit down, but we'll see. I mean, it's an ongoing situation, clearly on the Benn side of things, but it's sort of like the Eubank side of things and the Wasserman side of things. Well, we've just sort of been like, okay, that happened, get on with your lives now, Well, that leaves a bit of a sour taste in my mouth, at least.
On a lighter note, Misfits, New Orleans. I say on a lighter note, it looked like fucking carnage, Kalle.
Yeah, it looked like Guns N' Roses and Motley Crue had been in town one night. Yeah, it was. Are
you going grey with it yet?
Well, I've gone grey a long time ago. That's why I've started shaving, or else I look like Father Christmas. No, as an event, it was. It was fun and entertaining as always. There were things that will be looked at, for example,
Chase DeMoor,
the punching the man on the floor, that is an absolute no-go, and will be receiving very, very severe punishment, and there will be a ban. But that's something that will take place at a disciplinary hearing. And then you've got the carnage, with Nate Diaz, that he was being goaded. He was sitting next to my brother, actually, 2 down from me. Picked up a bottle. I didn't even know he was famous for throwing bottles until afterwards. And he lobbed one at the guy who was goading him. Wouldn't say it was... You should never throw anything in a venue, of course. But it wasn't... You didn't throw it at him. Like, he sort of chucked it at him. I'm not saying that makes it any better. But then that chased DeMoor, who then decided to try and rush the whole secure zone. There was armed police there who we'd taken in on site, which we felt we had to do given the fight week. So that was dealt with, I think, as well as it could be dealt with. So I think our security stood up to the acid test. And then, of course, they found each other in New Orleans City Centre later that evening to have a part 2, and then it really did kick off. And I think Chase DeMoor rushed his crew and tried to beat them all up, and he came out the bar, saw Logan Paul, I'm assuming he saw Logan Paul twice because the joint that he was smoking on the way
It
in.
was a fake Logan Paul, I will just say.
Which one?
The Nate Diaz, the person.
Well, it's fake. It's fake for you. It's fake for me and you, Charlie. But if you smoked 5 reefers and had 50 shots, and you see that fella, you're going to think it's Logan Paul. So he's come out. He's seen Logan Paul. As I said, he's probably seen him twice. But it's not, you can't condone what he's done. He's put his hands up. You can see it clearly on the video. Don't want any trouble, and he's taking him out in the old choker.
As you do.
As you do on a Saturday night or Friday night out on New Orleans. But we've got to say that side Diaz actually one-on-one is a good fella. He's clearly got that spark in him and that temper in him. He just can't condone something like that. And I think if I've seen correctly, overnight there's a warrant out for his arrest. So yeah.
All right, Kalle, I don't want to keep you for too much longer. Thank you very much for your time, as always. Look forward to Smith-Eubank too.
Charlie, I'm looking very forward to this emotional journey with you again. Eubank, Smith-Eubank 2, we have to call it now. Be contractually correct. But I am looking very forward to that and see you at a few events along the way, not to mention X Series KSI Joe Fournier at Wembley Arena, May 13, in between.